Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Claire. This is Carnivoreclaire, where I talk about all things carnivore diet. If there's anything you would like me to discuss, leave me a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. So in today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about some things that have been frustrating me. I love the carnivore diet. It is turning my life around. I've lost over 40 pounds since I started in February. But it wasn't always like that. The weight loss has been hit and miss. And at times when the scales just won't shift, it gets very, very frustrating. There's another thing, and that is my sleep issues. Now, it's really important for me to explain that I have a serious sleep disorder. So I have a condition called non-24-hour circadian rhythm disorder. 75% of people with that condition are blind, so they have no light coming in, so their circadian rhythm is disrupted. But 25% of us are sighted, such as myself. Now, this is a condition I've had all my life, certainly far back as I remember. I remember being about 10 years old and having sleep issues. I would say it was when I was in my late teens it really became a problem. I'm now 49 and I still have those issues, so it's not something that is going away. So what non-24-hour circadian rhythm is basically a 25-hour circadian rhythm on a 24-hour clock. So the effect of that is that my sleep gets later and later every night, and there's nothing I can do to stop it or keep it in one place. So over about 20 days, I go right around the clock. There's no supplements, there's no medication, there's no nothing they can give me to give me a 24-hour circadian rhythm. It's just something I have to live with. But something I do take is melatonin, which helps it sometimes it doesn't. It tends to get me to sleep about 1 to 2 hours earlier than I would have otherwise. It doesn't work every night, but it does more nights than it doesn't, I guess, is what I could say. It's been very, very frustrating. When my sleep pattern is at a good place, I get a good 7 hours. I don't have insomnia. I don't have any other sleep issues. Sleep like a baby and feel amazing when I wake up. But as my sleep pattern gets later, I sleep little and little and little. So if I go to sleep at 3 a.m, I'll still wake up at 7 and I'll be sleep deprived. And then later in the day, I'll have a nap because I can't cope. Well, when I went on the carnivore diet, this got really bad. My lack of sleep, I was surviving on like 3 hours. So even when I had a good sleep pattern, if I went to sleep at about like midnight maybe, I would wake up at 3 a.m. and would be too wired to go back to sleep. And this was when I was first on the carnivore diet and I had a lot of frustration. Now, a couple of years ago, I tried intermittent fasting and the same thing happened when I did that, and I had to give it up after 2 weeks because I was like a walking zombie. So I was really sad when it happened again on carnivore. I was getting really frustrated. I tried all different things. A lot of people have this issue. There are videos that others have done about this waking up at 3 a.m. thing. I've tried supplements, I've tried everything. I was getting so frustrated. So they're the two things that I was like, if I can fix these two things, then the carnivore diet would be perfect for me. Well, and the constipation as well, which I have solved by taking melatonin before bed. No, not melatonin, magnesium, sorry. We're taking magnesium before bed, and that has kind of solved my constipation. So we're focusing today on these two: sleep, weight loss and sleep. So which do you want to do first? We'll do weight loss first because that's probably what people are more interested in. There's a lot of people, and I'm in a lot of the groups on Facebook where they talk about sorts of things to do with carnivore, and I see weight issues coming up again and again and again. People saying they're not losing straight away, or they lost straight away and then it tailed off and they can't lose, they're plateauing. A lot of people come across this diet because they've seen others lose a lot of weight on this diet and they think, oh, this is the answer. But the carnivore diet in and of itself is not a weight loss plan. It really isn't. It's more a health plan. So if you have a lot of health issues, maybe you have chronic illness like I do, then the carnivore diet is kind of going to be perfect for you. When I came to the carnivore diet, you might remember on my first update video, I said I didn't do this for weight loss, and it's true, I didn't. But what I found is once the weight loss started, I was like, I want more of this, I want more of this. So what happened, the first month, I did not lose anything at all. And I was eating a lot less than I had been previously. So I was a bit like, this is a shame. Like, my health in terms of my chronic illness was much, much better. And I think I did lose an inch or two, but the scales weren't shifting. I was like, what? Then suddenly the scales started shifting and I lost 20 pounds in a month. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm going to get slim doing this. Oh, I'm going to sort my life out. You know, ta-da, everything's going to be perfect. Well, I lost those 20 pounds and then I plateaued. And I plateaued and I plateaued and I plateaued. And I think I lost another 10 pounds. So I got up to 30 pounds loss, losing the odd pound here or there, but it was really sporadic and really slow. And I was getting very frustrated with it. So what did I do? Because I'm now at over 40 pounds loss since I started, but it's actually 60 pounds loss because I lost 20 pounds the normal way last year before I did Carnivore. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I think I am looking pretty good. Still a way to go, but I'm pleased with my progress. So how did I do it? What I did was OMAD. So you might know that as 1 meal a day. So when I was plateauing, I was eating 2 meals a day. I was eating at 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. They are the times that I naturally got hungry, and so I ate. And I was having about 300 grams of steak on each and maybe a bit of cheese. I wasn't eating a lot. So I was so frustrated that the weight was not coming off. I tried to increase fats as the advice is. That didn't work. I started putting on weight. So the scales had no problem going up, they just didn't want to come back down again. So I abandoned that because not only was I putting on weight, I was really puffy and yes, no, that wasn't happening. I don't know why I started OMAD. I think I got into fasting initially because I thought, well, people were saying that if you do a 24-hour fast, then that's going to jog your body and you're going to start losing again. So I did a 24-hour fast, really enjoyed it because I felt amazing. When I don't eat any food, I feel so good. Food affects me so negatively. And also, when I got to about 18 hours in, the autophagy would give me a high. I would get this dopamine release and I absolutely loved it. So at first I said, right, I'm going to do a fast once a week. And I started doing that. Then I fell out of it. And it did shift the pounds. Those 10 pounds that I said I've lost here and there, that was with the 24-hour fasting. Then one day I just thought, I'm going to do this every day because it makes the weight drop off. It controls my eating because I'm someone who's a food addict. And if I've got a very specific window when I have to eat, that's going to work better for me than if I can just open the fridge at any time and have a chomp on some cheese. I started doing it. Within 2 days, I was feeling amazing. The weight started dropping immediately. I think I must have lost like 3 pounds in 2 days. And I was like, this is the way forward. This is the way forward. So I kept doing it because I was doing 23 hours not eating and 1 hour eating. And I was eating at about 6 to 7 p.m. Initially, first couple of days, it was fairly difficult, but not till like mid-afternoon. So about 20 hours in, it started to get a bit more challenging. But I would go out, I'd go on long walks. This is something else I incorporated was walking. I try to get my 10k steps as often as I can. I can't do it every day because I still have post-exercise malaise. So that's not a thing to do every day. But when I do it, it really does help. Then I would come home and eat. And what I found over about 3 or 4 days is my brain adjusted. My brain stopped expecting me to eat throughout the day and after I'd eaten in the evening. And I only actually got hungry about 2 hours before my eating window. And so that was so much better. And I got into a real habit of doing it. I've been doing it nearly 3 weeks now. It just became a thing. And I also weigh daily. I know you're going to be at me in the comments saying you shouldn't do that. Well, I disagree. I think if you can handle daily weighing, there's nothing wrong with it. For me, it pushes me forward. I daily weighed 12 years ago when I lost 100 pounds in 7 months, and it massively spurred me on. And initially when I was doing Carnivore, I wasn't weighing daily, but once I started doing OMAD, I did weigh daily, and I'm losing nearly a pound a day at the moment when I do OMAD. So I probably am under eating. But what I found, certainly within about 10 days of OMAD, is that when I've got my eating window, the amount I can eat is not that big. So if you're doing OMAD, then you're really, really restricted in how much you can eat. Last night, I did fall off the wagon, I've got to be honest with you. I bought some salmon. I thought I'm going to give salmon a go because I'm been eating red meat only. So the night before I tried some pork because I was allergic to it before. I thought I'm going to give it a go, see if I can handle it yet. No, really severe migraine headaches from that. And then yesterday I had salmon, but it was quite dry. It didn't have a lot of fat in it, although it probably did. It had the omegas and stuff, but it didn't have much saturated fat. And come about 11 p.m, I was actually tearing the walls down with hunger. So I won't be doing that again. I ended up having some cheese at midnight. That's the first time I've broken OMAD in nearly 3 weeks. So yeah, it's going to be red meat from here on in because that keeps me satisfied. And what I find is I would cook 2 steaks up and I wouldn't even be able to finish them. So there was always like a little bit at the end that I would give to the cat because I would be sick if I just kept eating. So I know you're going to ask, what do I eat on OMAD? I've got into a real system, if you like. So it's either 1 or 2 meats usually. It's either beef or lamb. They both have their pros, they both have their cons, but I just like to alternate them because then I don't get bored with what I'm eating. I will break my fast with some cheese usually, just because it's fat, and I've heard that you should break your fast with fat. I don't have cheese every night because sometimes I feel that it can slow the weight loss down a little bit, and also I can get bunged up. So I probably have cheese about 3 to 4 days a week. I also have an omelette. I was having a 3-egg omelette, but it's too much for me now. So I have a 2-egg omelette and I put my protein powder in there because I have collagen powder where I'm losing a lot of weight and I'm an older person now. I know you're going to scream at me. You're not old, you're not old. I'm 49. And so my skin is not pinging back like it used to. Certainly not how it did the last time I lost weight. So I'm getting about 1,000 calories or so per day. And that seems to be enough to sustain me until the next evening. I get the odd hunger pang, but hardly anything. And I've gotten into a real routine and it's working so well. So if you are struggling with weight loss, your weight has plateaued, but you love everything else about Carnivore, then give OMAD a try. Some people say not to do it, that it's dangerous long term. I don't know if that's true or not. There's plenty of people who do it long term, been doing it 6-7 years with no side effects. So I don't know, you have to do your own research. I'm not a doctor, none of this is medical advice. This is just me sharing my own personal journey with you. So take the bits that you think fit for you and ignore the rest. So let's get on to the sleep issues. So as I was saying, my sleep issues, I was exhausted, completely and utterly exhausted. And what I did, because I knew it was a protein and fat only diet that was causing these sleep issues, was not letting me sleep. I had no glucose, or the glucose that I had was converted from the protein for survival. So I had having no glucose just did not serve me very well in terms of my sleep. And I got so desperate, I started incorporating a few carbs just to get a good night's sleep. And I would say, I'm trying to think what I had, like avocado, bought some blueberries at one point because I heard they were low blood sugar. I was just basically having whatever was around really. But I was keeping it to like under 50, initially under 20 carbs, then I went up to 50, then I went up to 100, and when I got to 100 I started having really bad side effects, like my health was reverting. Previously I gained more energy, I was doing a lot more exercise, I was getting out 3 to 4 times a week, which is a game changer. I was bedbound before. When I started incorporating the carbs, I saw my health going backwards. I was losing my energy. I was getting more exhausted again, and I had more pain. I got sciatica really badly and all the rest. The problem was 2 days into eating the carbs, my sleep went back to normal. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was having all this pain, all this other stuff, but at least my sleep was back to normal, and it was beautiful. Having 7 hours was beautiful. And even in my face, because when I don't eat carbs, my face looks so clear, and it just didn't look clear. It looked puffy, it looked inflamed. And I was like, this is no good. Got to get straight back on the carnivore. So I started doing OMAD, as we talked about, and my sleep problems did not revert. I'm sleeping about 5 hours and then having a 2-hour nap later on. So I'm getting 7 hours. It's just broken up. But it really just fixed the sleep problem. If you're having problems, try OMAD. I would say sleep deprivation is the one thing that might get you off of carnivore. You can also try magnesium. I take magnesium now at night, so maybe that is supporting my sleep as well. Don't notice that it is, but it may well be. Make sure you're hydrated. I'm so bad at being hydrated, but it's so important, especially on a protein diet, because you're not getting the water from the carbohydrates. So, and also, if you have a lot of weight to lose, then OMAD is really good because the weight's going to come off faster. And that's what we all want, isn't it? It's not necessarily the best thing to do for long-term weight loss, but we're going to be mindful. We're not going to put it back on again. I'm certainly not, because I cannot go through this again. Losing a lot of weight is a lot of hard work. Even though I find the diet relatively easy, the psychological aspect of losing a lot of weight is hard, because you've got to be consistent for a very, very long time. A couple of tips while I'm here, if you want to lose a lot of weight. First thing is, and this is for success in anything really, not just weight loss, consistency is key. So you have to get up, do the same thing day in, day out. It is boring as hell, but it will get you results if you stick at it in a concerted effort over months, possibly years if you need to. Another thing is your mindset. You need to have your why, and you need a really strong why. And from personal experience, I find that to be healthy, to lose weight, to look better, are not reasons enough to get me to do the weight loss. Your weight loss has to be, in a way, it's going to drive you forward, because you are going to have moments during this weight loss process where you are wanting to give up. You're going to feel like it's too hard. You need to be able to look at that end goal, the thing that you will achieve by doing your weight loss, and say, this is worth it, in those darkest of moments. I have my personal why, and it's personal to me. It's not relevant to anyone else, so I won't be sharing it. But you've got to find a why, a really deep why. A surface level why isn't going to help you here. It has to be a really deep why that makes you really, really want the thing. And the other thing I would say that you really need to understand for long-term weight loss is you need to understand the role of insulin within the body. So this is something I've been learning recently. I watched some lectures by Dr. Fung. He's fantastic. He advocates for fasting, and he also talks about insulin and how when we eat glucose, i.e. carbohydrates, the insulin goes up. And when insulin goes up, that shuts off the door to your fat cells. So for example, I have a lot of fat cells that I want to get rid of. Now, if I eat carbohydrates or a carbohydrate heavy meal, the energy that I need is not accessing those fat cells. It is only going to rely on the glucose that is incoming on my body. My body will spend what it needs to spend in energy, and the rest will go to my fat. But I will not be burning any fat cells. I will only be adding to it. Whereas if I eat a very low carbohydrate or zero carbohydrate diet, insulin is not getting spiked. So then when I need to burn energy, my body can go to my fat cells and get rid of them. That's a really crude way that I've learned about insulin. But I would say it's really, really important that you understand that, because a lot of people just go on a low fat, sad diet, standard American diet, and they struggle. I lost 7 stone in 7 months doing that diet. Boy, was it a struggle. Much, much, much more than this diet is a struggle. And it's so unnecessary. So if you understand the role of insulin, and that if you are obese, like I am and like I have been, then you are probably insulin resistant, which is a whole other video. Look into those 3. Consistency, mindset, and the role of insulin are 3 things that are really going to help you on your weight loss journey. With that said, I'm going to end the video here, and I will catch you very soon. Do like, comment, subscribe, buy me a coffee if you found this video really interesting, and I will chat to you in the next one. Why don't you watch this video, which was my 90-day update, where I had some fantastic news. Watch it now. If you haven't, watch it, please. I'll catch you later.